Hello and welcome back to OC Avery. I'm Oliver, and in today's video it's episode 1 of my new series, Breeding British Birds. So this series will be airing every Saturday morning at 9 AM, where you can look at the weekly progress of my birds throughout the breeding season. Obviously this year's season with season 1 will be on the breeding season of 2021. So we'll do a new series every year. It starts when we initially pair up the birds, so that's what we're going to see in this week's video. I'm going to introduce you to all the pairs of the native finches, the mules and hybrids, and the canaries. We also have some new life in the shed this week, which you'll see a little later on in the weekly update, and we've also had a few quick changes we've had to make to some of the pairings, which I'll talk to you about a little later on. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, so please sit back, relax and enjoy episode 1. So we're going to start off with the Redpolls. We've got 9 pairs of Redpolls this year, and they're all in this bird room. So we have 3 pairs in front of me and 6 pairs behind me. So we're going to take a look at each individual pair, what mutations they are and what are the expected outcomes from them breeding.
Start off with this pair. Now this is a normal hen to a normal pied cockbird. So we have a normal hen from Jack Lloyd's line here, and this is paired to a nice normal cockbird. Now he is showing signs of variegation in pied. He has a white flight feather and a few white tail feathers, so it'll be interesting pairing it. It is, I believe, a first in the line pied from a line in Belgium. So this is going to be a nice pair to try. We've got the cobbiness and the real good markings on the flanks of the hen, to the good length and good colour of the cockbird as well. So overall this is a good pairing. Now this is the nest site. I've used this same nest site for all the Redpolls you're going to see. We've got a Cecil liner in there from Direct Bird Products with a hang on the front nest pan, and around that is some fake ivy. So this second pair is a pair of cinnamon Redpolls. Now we have 2 birds from the same line, but obviously distantly or more distantly related. So we have a cinnamon hen who is the daughter of the World Show silver medalists on the left now, and then we have the cockbird on the right, who is related but further away, so it's going to help us preserve that line of cinnamon Redpolls. This is a lovely pair and I'm looking forward to breeding them. This third pair now, we have a normal split Feo cockbird to a normal hen. Now the normal hen is quite small, but she has some good markings on her and some good colour. The cockbird is he's definitely a buff bird. He doesn't have as much colour, and he's sort of showing, I guess you'd say, mealy traits, although these are all lesser Redpolls, but he does carry Feo, so that should hopefully give us some split Feo youngsters we could possibly breed back to him, to hopefully breed ourselves some Feos in the next year or so. So this pair is it's an interesting pairing, and I'm excited to see what comes from it. So we have an Isabel cockbird to I believe it's actually maybe a cinnamon cobalt hen I bred last year. Either way, a lovely bird. So this is a decent a nice pairing. So what we'll breed from this is cinnamon cocks that are split for Isabel and Isabel hens, so that should give us a real good load. We could possibly get a cobalt out there or something, but we'll have to see what happens. But that's from the hen possibly being a cinnamon cobalt, but either way, a lovely pair. Next we actually have the sister to the cinnamon cobalt hen, which is another cinnamon cobalt, to an agate pastel cockbird. Now this is one of my absolute favourite cockbirds in the shed. Lovely cobby bird, really nice bird, good colour, and obviously has the pastel gene as well, which is a bit something different. This is looking a good pair. They've been feeding each other an awful lot, and both birds are really fit, so I'm looking forward to breeding them. That will give us some really good birds to work with in the future. We'll have agate hens, and then from them we'll have normal cockbirds, which are split for agate, split for cinnamon, and also split for pastel. So that should give us some really good birds to work with in the future. This is a normal pastel cockbird to a cobalt hen. Now the cobalt hen won me best novice hardbill at the national show 2 years ago in October, so that's a great bird, really good colour, good markings down the flanks, and a really good shape. And the cockbird he is a normal pastel, not shown as much of the pastel as the agate, but nevertheless a pastel bird. So that'll give us both cobalt cocks and cobalt hens, normal cocks and normal hens, all of which will be split for pastel, which will then pair to the youngsters of the previous pair next year, which is the plan. This is another one of my a bit of an experiment pair and something exciting to have in the bird room. So we have a cobalt hen who I bred last year to a nice normal cockbird. Now this normal cockbird is the brothers to the cinnamon cobalts. He is split for agate and split for cinnamon. And the hen is just a cobalt. She has some good markings down the flanks, a little bit of white colour at the chest, but nothing we can't fix over time. And the normal cockbird has some really good markings, so that's going to give us a variety of colours. This is another interesting pairing. We have a normal cockbird who is pied on the crest to actually a cobalt hen who is pied on the crest as well. So that's going to be an interesting pair. We have the cockbird is last year's, the cobalt hen is 2-3 years old now. This is going to be a good pair. We've got a really good collar on that cockbird. It's all right colour on the cobalt hen, some good markings on her flanks as well. So that should be a nice pair. This is the final pair of Redpolls. We have a cobalt split Isabel cockbird who is actually we've bred with him over the past few years to a cobalt hen. Now this is actually his daughter, so we are inbreeding these, but it's nothing that we should be too concerned about, considering they are father to daughter. So this should produce us some nice double factor, single factor cobalts, and a few normals as well as a few Isabel hens.
So this year I've chosen 3 pairs of green finches. We've got a pair in here, and another pair outside, one of the 8-foot flights. Now, I chose to only have 3 pairs this year, although I could have had more. I only wanted to keep the best birds. I bred quite a few last year. We bred about 15, 16 green finches last year from several different pairs, all a range of quality. Some no exhibition quality at all, some okay, and others much better. So I've only kept the ones which were much better. So we have the 3 hens we're going for this year are all, we have a mother and 2 daughters, and they're from Paul Meek's line, and they're really nice birds, really good colour, really good shape to them and size. The cockbirds, we have a pied cockbird who I actually bred last year. He's not really off-show quality. He's alright, but he's not great. And the idea is I want to develop a line of competitive pied green finches. We also have another pied cockbird who I bought in. He's pretty much the same quality as the other pied. And then finally we do have a fantastic quality normal greenfinch cock from the Evans and Pontin line, and that was gifted to me by Mark Pontin, so massive thank you to Mark. So we're going to take a look at all these pairs now and really what the expected outcomes are and the nest sites that I'm using for these guys.
So the first pair of green finches we have here is a pied cockbird who I bred last year. He's about 50-50 pied, I'd say, to a nice normal hen. Now I'm hoping these should produce me some nice youngsters. Actually, they have began building and are looking very promising. The cock is feeding the hen, so hopefully we should get some nice looking youngsters from these. Obviously pied is co-dominant, so we'll get cocks and hens in pied and normal. This is the nest I've used for them, and you can see actually they have began building, and she'll get there over the next few days. So it's just a cocoa fibre nest on a platform surrounded by fake Christmas tree and conifer. This is the second pair. Now you can see she's on the nest. She's not laid yet, but same again. They get in there, and over the next few days I think we might see the first eggs arrive. So this is a normal hen to a pied cock. I bought the pied cock in last year. He's quite a lightly pied bird, so as you can see most of him is clear. He's got some pied markings around the cheeks and around on the back of the neck, and the rest of him is clear. So Hopefully we should get some nice pies from these guys. The normal hen's great as well. And this is the final pair. This is my absolute best pair of green finches. We've got the normal cockbird on the right from the Evans and Pontin stud, and then we have the hen at the back, actually from Paul Meek's line. So it's a lovely set of birds. This is a lovely pair. The cockbird's being a bit aggressive, but that's the best part. Well, that's the most part of it, and we'll see them develop over the next few weeks, hopefully, and hopefully we get some youngsters.
So outside now we have the 2 pairs of crossbills. So anyone who's been following the channel for a while will know that we've got 2 pairs, both of which we paired up in early January and gave the nest sites to. They're not easy birds to breed really, and they are causing me issues. As I've spoke about in previous videos, they're just messing about with nest material. So we have a pair in here. This is my better pair, more exhibition quality. We have another pair in here. These are lower quality, more I guess undeveloped for the exhibition. So this is a developed pair. This is sort of an undeveloped pair as such, sort of the wild stature of a crossbill and the exhibition type of crossbill. So we'll take a look at both pairs. They're playing about with material. They're chewing everything to bits. So we're just going to have to see what happens with them this year. But I'm really hoping that we will soon get some young crossbills from them.
First pair of crossbills. So this is the hen. Now, we bred from her last year. We had 2 youngsters, a cock and a hen, both which sadly haven't got any more. She actually is the mother to the one which was taken by the sparrowhawk, but she's a lovely bird. This is the cockbird paired to her. Now, this is from a great line of birds, an absolutely fantastic, lovely bird. He's obviously colour fed with him being so red, but I absolutely love this bird, and I think hopefully we should get some nice youngsters from that pair. So then this is the next pair. So we have the cockbird. He's quite yellow. We haven't colour fed him. I bred from him last year with the other hen. And then this is the hen he is paired to. So she is just a general normal crossbill, common crossbill.
So next up we have the goldfinches, the Siberian goldfinches and the bullfinches. So we're running the goldfinches as a trio this year. We've got a normal cockbird split Umo, we've got a hen who's a normal, a classic goldfinch, and we've got an A-gate goldfinch hen. So all 3 of them are in there, as well as a pair of Siberian bullfinches. The Siberian bullfinch hen is just a normal. The cockbird is a normal who is split for pastel. They produced us some pastel hens last year. Sadly, none of them made it to fledging, as we only had a few. It was an alright year last year. We did have a few rounds off the bullfinches, but a few mishaps along the way with the pair were an issue. We've got them in here. This is an 8-foot deep flight. It's 4 feet wide and it's 6 feet high. So we'll take a look at the pairs in here and the nest sites I've chosen for these guys.
This is the pair of goldfinches. So in shot right now we have the classic cock who split Umo to an A-gate hen. In the far left corner you can now see is actually a classic hen just flying forward now. So that's our trio of Siberian goldfinches. Absolutely lovely birds. They're all in great condition. The cockbird's his beak is turned completely white. I don't think there's any black left on the tip now, and it is swaying his tail as they do. This is the pair of Siberian bullfinches in the same flight. Now, everything is, all those 5 birds in the same flight. I've thrown food everywhere. I've cleaned everything, but they're getting on really well. The bullfinch pair are showing signs of mating, displaying, the cockbirds singing, etc., and starting to build and pick up material. As for the hen bullfinch here, bullfinches are known for being territorial, so I'm having to keep my eye on them, but I've put plenty of nest sites so there isn't any competition for them, and also plenty of cover in there. So as we talk about nest sites, this is a UPVC chapel. I got these from Direct Bird Products, so thank you, Shane. We've got 3 of these. We've got one with just a general liner, one with a grass liner in there, and one with a felt liner there. So ideally the goldfinches, I think, will use these. For the bullfinches, we've got a wooden chapel here with a cocoa nest inlay. They used this year and it was last year, and it was very successful. And this is a chapel style nest, and that's just a general one which they also used last year and built a freestanding nest in there. And then finally, I added a little bit of an extra nest site, which is actually a cocoa fibre nest, and just put that tucked away under some shrubs.
So for the Siskins this year, I've bred a pair actually in where the greenfinches are down here in a 3x3 breeder. That's worked really well. Well, this year I've decided that we're going to go for the same length. So we've got them in 2 3-foot breeding cages here. We've got a 2018 cockbird here. With a 2020 hen, so that's my best hen really. She's got some fantastic markings on her, and the cockbird's a nice bird. For this pair down here, this is actually the parents to the hen, and we bred these guys last year. So these are in 3-foot breeders. We've got the nests set up for them, so I'll show you them and I'll show you the pairs.
So this is the first pair of Siskins. Now we have a 2020 hen who I bred last year. She's a lovely bird, really good markings down the flanks with a 2018 cockbird. He proved for us last year with some Siskin mules and the year before with actual Siskins. He's got some great markings down him, so I think these two will complement each other nicely, and hopefully we'll get some nice youngsters from them. Looking a promising pair, both feeding each other. So as for a nest site, we've got an external wire nest here, we've got a nest felt in that, and then we've got it surrounded by some fresh conifer. So I'm hoping we do get something from this pair this year. I can't see why not, and I do think they are looking promising. This is the second pair now. These are the parents to the hen we just previously looked at. Absolutely lovely birds again. We bred from them both last year, both 2019 birds. Bonded well and feeding each other, so really good signs, and ultimately I do hope we breed them this year. This is the nest site again, just same again. We've got a load of conifer around a wire external nest with a nest felt with carbolic soap.
So the next birds we're going to look at and have a quick talk about is actually the canaries. Now, many of you have already seen these. We already have several of the pairs done. We have 2 pairs of feeders, which are actually 5s. We have 2 pairs of new colours, and actually we have 1 pair of Norwich, and we've got another. What was supposed to be a pair is actually turned out to be 2 cocks. Now you're going to see this actually worked out quite nicely, and you'll see that a little later on in the video when we come to our Mulen hybrid pairs. You may have seen this already on the Natives in Norwich Facebook group, but we have had a bit of a change, so I'm going to show you them shortly.
So the first pair of canaries we come to is this pair of feeders. Now this, I'm a bit umming and ahhing about actually what species they are, or sorry, the breed of canary they are. I'm going towards 5. They're definitely 5 based, but probably a bit of Irish fancy in there as well. This is the pair which actually haven't bred for me yet, so we've got them on building the nest now. I think it'll be a few days before they lay. This is the second pair now. We saw these a few episodes ago. They've actually built a nest up. We've got them on 4 eggs, 3 of which are full. Lovely pair, and the eggs are due any day, so hopefully we might see at the end of this episode actually some chicks from these guys, as they are due actually very soon. Lovely pair as well. They're getting on fantastic. Both are feeding each other and really getting on well. So the style of nest I've chosen for these guys is it's a hang on the front plastic nest pan. It's got a felt nest liner, and they've built in that. So this is my pair of yellow dimorphics. We're going to see a little bit later on the recent development with a bit of new life in their nest. So you can look forward to that a little later on in this video. Lovely pair. I do know that at least with the hen, there could be some slight reason she isn't a full yellow dimorphic, but nevertheless, this is a pair of red-eyed satinets. They had a nest of clear eggs, and are rebuilding for the next round. Lovely pair, ideal for Mulen. Now this is a bit of a recent development we've had. We've got 2 Norwich cocks here actually. The allied blue-white thing was supposed to be a hen, turns out it's a cock bird, so we have 2 spare Norwich cocks, but you're going to see a little later on how we can actually use these and how that has worked really well for this year. This is the final pair of canaries. Now we have a normal variegated Norwich cock to a ticked buff Norwich hen. Now these guys are getting on very well. Definitely a cock and a hen, both proven last year by the breeder. And actually they've begun to build a nest, so fingers crossed that this pair clicks and does work. The hen is building, so hopefully we might get some young Norwich. And just to give you guys a quick idea, this is the nest pan I've chosen. For these guys on the external nest, we've got an external plastic nest with a felt nest liner.
And then finally, we have my Mulen hybrid pairs. So as I mentioned a little bit previously with the canaries, we've had a bit of a change and it's actually worked in favour. You might have seen this on the Natives in Norwich group already, but as we'll take a look at the pairs and I'll talk about what's happened. We have a greenfinch mule pair here, a Siskins cross Redpoll pair here. We have a goldfinch with a satinet canary hen here, and a goldfinch with a it's a half satinet. I believe it's definitely a new colour. It's just I wouldn't say probably a standard coloured new colour down here. So we've got 2 pairs of goldfinch mules, a Siskins Redpoll hybrid pair and a greenfinch mule pair.
So with our mules and hybrids, the first pair we come to is our greenfinch mule pair. Now we have a nice greenfinch hen, a normal greenfinch hen, to what was supposed to be a clear yellow Norwich cock. Well, it turns out with this pair that actually the clear Norwich cock is actually a hen. As you can see now, she is sat on a nest and she did actually lay me an egg yesterday. So that's quite annoying. But nevertheless, we can change it, we can fix it. So, as I mentioned earlier with the canaries, we have 2 spare Norwich cocks. So we'll just take one of the cockbirds and swap it out for that hen, and just hopefully they bond and work. The second pair we come to, this is a hybrid pair. We have a Siskins cock we bred last year to a cinnamon Redpoll hen, who I bought in the previous year. So, they've been bonded and paired together since October. All good signs. I've seen him threading her, so let's just hope that we do get some youngsters from them. This is the nest site that I've given them. It's an wire external nest. We've put some fake Christmas tree and fake ivy around it. We've got a Cecil nest liner like the rest of the Redpoll pairs, and the hen has actually been in and out of that for quite a few days now. I think she's just been checking out the nest site, and she might take a little bit longer before she starts to build. This is the next pair. We've got a goldfinch mule pair, so we have a European goldfinch with a red-eyed satinet canary hen. I do think there might be a slight issue with the canary hen because she doesn't seem to be wanting to do much, but we'll have to see how she develops. The goldfinch cock is in prime condition. He's doing really good. He's singing, bouncing, and everything. This is the nest site I've given them. It's a canary nest pan with a nest felt. They have messed it up a bit, but not to worry. This is the next pair. Now we've got the new goldfinch cock in with a new colour canary. I'm not too sure on the colour. I can see it's a base satinet, but it'll bred from a satinet, but it's not definitely a satinet. And this is the cage they're in. Quite comfortable in that. I do find that the goldfinch is a little bit unsure. We haven't had him too long, and he was flight bred and has been out in the flights for the past few weeks.
So because of the situation with the greenfinch mule pair, obviously it would have been ideal that we'd got a yellow Norwich cock to put with the greenfinch, because it could have given us some nice mules. But I guess that's part of bird keeping, is that you're going to get thrown curveballs that are getting through them. So my plan now really is that it's proven it's a hen. I know it's a hen. I'm going to remove it from this cage here. It's a 4-foot breeder. It really doesn't need it. It's Yeah, it's more for the greenfinch hen, is that. So I'm going to take her out and actually replace her with the spare green Norwich cock I have. So that's a yellow cockbird, a green cockbird as well. So that should hopefully give us some nice greenfinch mules if they do click, which I hope they do. And then we have this clear yellow hen. So what I'm going to do is take her out and swap her for the green, and she will be then paired to a white and blue variegated Norwich cock, and we'll just have to see what happens there. Hopefully he does fill the eggs, but if he doesn't, then we do have a normal variegated which we can put to her. So fingers crossed. So we'll get them moved now and pair them up, and fingers crossed, all going well, they all click. So there's the new cockbird in with the greenfinch hen. So she hasn't been in she's only ever been in with that Norwich hen now, the yellow hen, since about October. So they will be a little bit nervous at first, both the greenfinch hen and the Norwich hen. But we'll have to see what happens. So I've just removed the nest actually, which the Norwich was building, just put it on it here so that the greenfinch can strip it to clear out that nest, so she actually has a chance of building. The Norwich seems to already be happy in there feeding away, so we'll just have to monitor them over the next few days, see how they get on, and hopefully in next week's video we can see their progress. And then here's the yellow hen, yellow clear Norwich hen, in with the white and blue cockbirds. So we'll just have to see how they get on. I put some nest material there for her just to see what happens. She's already been feeding, getting on okay, so we'll just have to keep an eye on, and fingers crossed, all going well, we might get a nest from her within the next week or two once they maybe stop squabbling.
Now, just before we go to the weekly update, I just thought I'd quickly show you guys actually what I've set up so far for the youngsters. So this is the flight we was going to have the Crossbill Greenfinch hybrid in. Well, with the disaster the other day, I've actually made a little railing system of perches so we can put the young birds in there and they can sit there and molt.
So for the weekly update this week, we're going to look at everything aside from the actual birds that we've paired up. So I've shown you everything that's an update because we've paired up all the native birds and all the birds are in pairs now, but actually what's happened this week, what's changed and what's developed.
Start the weekly update now with some new arrivals. So 2 weeks ago we set some yellow dimorphic eggs, and anyway we have 2 chicks, so 2 of the 4 were fertile and we have 2 chicks, so they're about 5 days old, 4 or 5 days old as you're seeing now. The parents are learning to feed, so I might have to give them a bit of a top up, but they are first time parents, so we'll be ringing them relatively soon. And they're going to be taking G rings from the BBC this year, just because they're what I had access to. So then we come to actually the pair of 5 feeder canaries. So nice birds. We've got a ticked yellow hen to a buff clear cock. These have been sat on 4 eggs now for the past 10 days, and here you are. This is actually their first chick. So that just hatched actually Friday morning. Absolutely lovely little bird as well, so we'll have to see how they get on. This is the next pair of feeder 5 canaries. They've built up a nest now, and I think it'll be any day she'll probably start to lay her first egg, so fingers crossed for that. I don't imagine it'll be too long. We also have the pair of red-eyed satinets. They've actually laid their first egg this morning, which is really good. So this is Friday morning I'm filming this clip. They've actually laid their first egg from their second round, considering the eggs were clear the first round, so fingers crossed it's full. We have the Norwich. Well, the Norwich we paired up. We have a ticked hen to a normal variegated cock, and they've began building, so hopefully we might be on with some young Norwich. So it's actually worked out quite nicely in that we'll have a pair of feeders going down about the same time, so we can hopefully foster these young Norwich out. We also have the natives now, so we have a pair of green finches we looked at earlier. they've began building, and they will probably lay very soon. And then we have the next pair. So we have both pairs which are in the other shed, both built up now.
Sadly, that does bring us to the end of episode 1, so I really hope you've enjoyed it. My new series, Breeding British Birds, will be out every Saturday morning at 9 AM. So please make sure you've got your notifications on and that you are subscribed so you don't miss any of the future videos. I'll also be doing many different videos throughout, so we'll have sort of midweek videos out usually on a Tuesday or a Monday afternoon or evening. We've got Keith Ferry on the next episode of the Natives in Norwich Zoom Room, and I do need to announce that we also have Jack Lloyd coming on at some point. So a man who I don't think needs any introduction. You probably know who I'm talking about, especially if you are into the British bird side of the hobby and you've been to some of the shows before, then I'm sure you'll be familiar with the name. So we've got Jack coming on hopefully in a few weeks' time, so you'll have to keep updated for that. So if you have enjoyed today's first episode, please hit the subscribe button, leave us a like, hit the notification bell, and hit this share button. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.